that it's been out of uniqueness, it's been out of purpose, it's been out of value that this hand of God throughout history, throughout generations, has pushed His message to the whole world. I stand before you this evening as a Jew, as a Latino, and as one who believes in the same Messiah that hopefully we all do in this room. Now, if it wasn't, as my illustrious colleague pointed out to in Leviticus and also in Genesis, all the citations in the text that point to our history, our own uniqueness, our own brokenness, our own values, that this message came across to unite us as believers in Messiah. One man was asked to leave his place and his family and his father. Abraham was asked to become an immigrant. When we look at the ancient word of Hebrew, Ivri, it actually means one who crosses over. Something that we are constantly doing, first in our mind and in our spirits and in our heart, when we are moved by a pastor's message, or when we are in our own reflective time with God, read something that moves us, we migrate in our mind from one place to another. Are you the same individual you were 20 years ago? I know some of you sure wish I was in some areas. But we've changed, we've evolved, we migrate inside spiritually as a people. But when we talk about this issue of immigration is something that, when we look at our own Constitution, is actually supported. The movement, the free movement of people from one place to another. See, but what we're talking about here is illegal immigration. And it's not an easy topic to wrap your mind and your heart around. For is it just a piece of paper and raising your hand that invites you into the human race? We make up these rules and we need them. We certainly need them. But we forget about what the text teaches us about compassion and about making sure that we approach things correctly. So, you see, I'm here tonight to tell you that immigration is a complex issue. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure. There certainly is no room for those who are angry and are afraid, and I dare say, racist. We don't want to say that term, it's not politically correct. Ooh. I say we speak the truth. I say that this country, the globe, needs a solid voice that comes from a very structured thinking paradigm, that of the text itself. Now, those of us that have gotten together to think through these issues have all agreed upon the importance of border security. None of us who are clergy were looking at that, myself from a former military and law enforcement background. Of course, border security. That's a no-brainer. Of course, looking at ways to find those that are here already in this country and say, how do we correct this? Because the only other solution is, why don't we get cattle cars and just put them all in there and send them all back to where they came from? See, I can say that in Spanish, about myself. But have you ever heard, that's a familiar story in my own history too as a Jew. Let's just send them back. And we need to look at our history and learn from it. This country was built on uniqueness. It was built on purpose. It was built on brokenness. Did we make some mistakes along the way? Sure we did. It's okay. But we're still a great nation. We're still a great nation. So we need to look at this and understand that, as my colleague also pointed out to me, there are some rules that are being put in place that create what is known in the academic world as antecedents. Okay? That's, for example, when we created the automobile, it was a great invention. But the toughest thing that law enforcement had to wrestle with was the fact that it made it easier for the bad guy to now go across state lines because he didn't need a horse anymore. So he could use that vehicle, rob a bank, and he'd be gone. Law enforcement didn't know what to do at that time. So they create laws. Interstate commerce laws are built on that perspective. So when we create something, we need to be cognizant. We need to be careful that we're not single loop learning, that we're just create this and not think of what the repercussions are. We need to gather around this issue and create rules and laws that address the issue, but don't create bigger problems for us. The Pew Foundation for Research, as well as INS, which changed its name back in 2005 or so, did a study, believe it or not. There's so much information out there that we need to research and look at and make a decision for ourselves. It says that when immigration spiked up, actually crime went down. Go figure. What do you do with things like that? We need to do things research-based. We need to come up with solutions that looks at our history and understands that this page in our history is still to be written. We need to look at comprehensive, informed, bipartisan. This isn't a Republican issue. This is not a Democratic issue. This is not a person that's independent issue. This is an issue for everybody, and I dare say it's an issue for the church to also stand up and speak out and